Today's topic is how similar are Spanish and Portuguese? As you probably know, Spanish and Portuguese are both Ibero-Romance languages that share a common origin. They're different enough that they are definitely considered different languages, but they're also closely related and quite similar in many ways. On paper, the two languages look very similar, and speakers of either language can generally read the other language without too much trouble. The spoken languages, however, are more different from each other and less mutually intelligible than the written forms. And Portuguese speakers typically understand spoken Spanish better than Spanish speakers understand Portuguese. Well, actually, it's mostly because of the difference in pronunciation between the two languages, but we'll get into that a little later. Spanish and Portuguese share about 89% lexical similarity, meaning that 89% of the words have a cognate, or an equivalent, in the other language. Now, that doesn't always mean that 89% of the words will be the same, because some of the different words are very basic and common words. And even though cognate words often look and sound quite similar, there are other cognates that have developed quite differently and now sound and look quite different. For instance, this pair of cognates clearly resemble each other. In Spanish,
mundo,
and in Portuguese,
mundo.
And these words mean earth or world. Now here's a less obvious pair of cognates. In Spanish,
pez,
and in Portuguese,
Peixe.
these words mean fish. So you can see the connection, but it's not quite so obvious. There are some very common everyday words that are different in the two languages. For example, in Spanish there's
yo pienso,
from the verb
pensar,
and
yo creo,
from the verb
creer.
which both mean I think. These words have cognates in Portuguese, but it's also very common to say
Eu acho.
from the verb.
Achar.
There is a Spanish cognate of this word,
hallar,
but it only means to find, not to think. In Spanish, there's the verb
mirar,
meaning to look at or to watch. In Portuguese, the common verb is
Olhar.
there is a Portuguese verb,
Mirar.
but it's not commonly used.